back, dear listeners, to another enlightening episode of HPS podcast, where we delve into the remarkable journeys of individuals within our school community. Today's episode is particularly special as we witness the fusion of literary expertise and innovation thinking. We'll have the pleasure of witnessing a unique conversation between a teacher and a student bridging the realms of academia and creativity. Joining us today is Ms. Anupama Ahuja, an esteemed educator whose dedication to nurturing young minds has left an indelible mark on our school. With a passion for literature and a keen eye for talent, Ahuja ma'am has been an instrumental in guiding students towards path of intellectual exploration and creative expression. And of course, our guest of honor today, Ashwika Nag of class 10th, whose journey from the world of literature to the forefront of innovation is nothing short of inspirational. Under the nurturing guidance of our school and principal madam, Ashwika has transformed her literary ambitions into tangible achievements, paving the way for a future where words and ideas converge in remarkable ways. So, dear listeners, stay tuned for a conversation that promises to ignite the flames of curiosity and inspiration. You're listening to HPS Podcast. Let's dive in.
Good day, ma'am. I see you reading a book. I must admit, I've seen you read quite many books. But do you know, nowadays technology has been taking the world by a storm.
Good morning, Ashwika. Yes, you are right. Reading is a hobby as well as a passion for me. And as far as I remember, even you were a literary enthusiast. But now I have often seen you running to the ATL lab. And I'm curious to know that what inspired you to take this switch to the technical field.
Absolutely. I did start as a literature enthusiast, diving deep into the world of books, poems, speeches, and debates. I loved exploring the nuances of language. But over time, the sessions, activities, and seminars conducted in our school nudged me towards the technical realm. It was like I wanted to move from analyzing stories on paper to create stories with lines of code.
Oh, that's a fascinating transition indeed. And how did you take this leap from being a literary genius to the technical progeny?
Well, for this, I would owe a tremendous thank you to our institution, our paradise of learning, Hansraj Public School, that provided me with the necessary resources and mentorship necessary to guide me through this transition. The school curriculum's encouragement and flexibility provided me tremendous opportunities and allowed me to explore new avenues to acquire the skills necessary for this transition. Our school, under the able guidance of our Madam Principal, provides lots of sessions, seminars, and ventures like ATL Labs, which promote tinkering and welcome new ideas every day.
I second your opinion. Our Madam Principal is always eager to equip the students with innovations. Right. So Ashwika, before I ask you further about the technical journey, I have a fun game to play with you. Are you ready?
I sure am.
Right. So let me see how much language is still embedded in you. So I am going to play a word game with you. Right. So I am going to pick a word from here. Right. And we'll start with the first word, the last letter of this word, and you have to carry forward.
Yes,
Are you ready?
Okay.
Alright, so choose any color out of these.
I would choose blue.
Okay, so with blue I have the word
Calm.
Right. Since calm ends with M, so if I begin, I would say M, mesmerizing. G.
G, I would relate G to gratitude.
Yeah, my favorite word, gratitude. Yes, gratitude ends with E, elegant. T.
Since you mentioned elegant, I can't help but mention my favorite flower, tulip.
Wow, that's beautiful. Tulip. P. So
Hold
P.
on, ma'am. Why won't we make this more interesting? And you give me a phrase that starts with the letter P.
Alright, since I was about to say P for paper, so right now I can think of what Anne Frank she wrote in her Diary of Young Girl. I'm sure you read it in class 10 books as well. She said paper has more patience than people. and I definitely hold with her because you can write anything you feel like on the paper without the fear of being getting judged, right? So with paper, with P, I would say paper. Now, what comes to your mind when you hear the word paper?
Well, with paper, I would relate papers to paper publication. That's actually how I embarked upon my journey to the technical realm. I started off with paper publication.
Oh, that's intriguing. Now, if I remember, is it the same paper you presented before the staff on the topic artificial biospheres and
Biorealms.
biorems? Right. I must say you did a commendable job. Is it the same?
Yes, thank you, ma'am. These are the same. I started off writing review paper. Actually, a review paper is a comprehensive analysis or summary of existing research in a particular field. Review paper, although it is a summarization of the already conducted research, but to publish one, you must add novelty to your work. A novelty might be added in the form of proposed solutions, innovative ideas, etc. Therefore, to publish our paper, we had to read lots of existing journals.
That's fantastic, I would say. Is it the same paper that people get published during a graduate and postgraduate level? I must say, if they are the same, it's a remarkable achievement and a milestone in your life.
Yes, ma'am, they're quite similar. And for this, I would owe a tremendous thank you to our school, who fosters such an environment where our students can take on such large endeavors. When I discuss about the same with my friends who go to different schools, they often are clueless.
I would definitely say, as a proud Hansarian, that our worthy principal madam, she makes the atmosphere really conducive for all this learning. So, Ashvika, since you mentioned about review paper, could you elaborate a bit if there are other kinds of paper as well?
Surely, paper publication has two broad segments, namely research papers and review papers. As I already mentioned about review papers, let me elaborate on research papers. A research paper is a detailed document that presents the original research of any scientific or any other particular field. When a researcher gets their work published, it not only embeds in the body of the knowledge but also allows others in the field to build upon that research.
All right. And how to get this paper published? Do we have to run to the ATL lab for that?
Well, running to the ATL lab surely will work, but the process of getting a paper published is a little more elaborate than that. For getting a paper published, one must create a well-structured manuscript and then submit it for peer review. The peer review process is most crucial as experts of the field check the quality and validity of the paper. Once the paper gets accepted, it becomes a part of the scientific record.
That's quite interesting, right? So, Ashvika, since there is a lot of information coming from your side, I would like to see how my literary enthusiast has turned into an innovative person. So, I would like you to add some innovation to something around us. Or let's say this pen, right? For an educator like me, this pen is my sword, right? So, what innovation can you add to this pen?
Well, on top of my head, the best idea that I can get to bedazzle your sword is to add collaborator features.
What is that?
Collaborator features would allow two or more pens to connect wirelessly, and it will allow large groups of people to take notes communally. It will be like you'll be taking notes without actually taking them.
Sounds quite interesting. But won't that promote copying during exams?
A boon and a bane.
So that's where ethics play a role, right? And the ethics are taught to you by pages, I would say books, right? So Ashvika, since I talked about the book here, book is for me my shield, right? As an educator. So what innovation can you add to a book?
Well, since we bedazzled your pen with collaborator features, let's add some more sheen to your shield with talking features. I think a talking book would be quite interesting.
Quite fascinating. If my book could read to me.
A book can be added with augmented reality features, which will allow customizable plot and characters that will encourage reading in young students, and it will also seamlessly integrate pages and prototypes.
I would say that would be a dream come true. for a bibliophile like me. Yeah, right. So Ashwika, that's quite interesting and quite innovative ideas from your side. But sometimes I'm really curious to know that what if somebody steals your ideas? Like you added something to my sword, to my shield, pen and book, and there is a variety of things happening around us. So what if somebody steals your ideas?
Well, for that, we have intellectual property rights that come to rescue.
Intellectual property rights. Sounds quite heavy a phrase or word, right? I've heard of property rights, but what are the intellectual property rights?
Certainly. Intellectual property rights, or IPR, is a legal term that refers to the rights that businesses or individuals have over their intellectual creations. It might include patents, copyrights, trademarks, or trade secrets. I actually stumbled upon this word while attending an IPR session conducted in our school. I'm rather grateful to our institution that conducts such sessions, which allows us students to gain such vast knowledge.
Right. While talking to you and hearing about your this transition journey, I can very well see how much you're grateful to our institution. And I would say that if these values are imbibed in you from our institution, it's a matter of great pride. All right. So Ashwika, since you mentioned about patent in your previous answer, how to obtain a patent?
Certainly, ma'am, but I must warn you, it's quite a tedious journey. For filing a patent involves documenting the invention thoroughly, submitting a patent application, and then having it examined by the patent office. It's a legal process and the level of detail matters. The goal is to prove that the invention is novel, non-obvious, and has industrial applicability. I started my journey off with a patent publish or utility patent that was about an automatic irrigation system. To get the patent, we had to document the invention thoroughly and then prove it that it was novel.
Well, I must say, when you say it's a tiresome journey, what comes to my mind is that Rome was not built in a day, right? So, Ashwika, since you mentioned about utility patents, could you elaborate on that?
For sure, utility patents or patent publish are the most common and cover new and useful inventions. They might include articles of manufacture, compositions of matter, processes, machines, etc.
Since you was talking about utility patents, so I think there would be some other type of patents as well.
Yes, ma'am, there are.
All right, we would like to know more about that.
Yeah, patents are broadly classified into three main categories. First is the utility patent or patent publish, as I mentioned. Second, we have design patents. And lastly, we have patent grants.
Right. So that's a lot of information coming from your side. And definitely, I know that you are, and I think you definitely deserve to be the ATL ambassador. And we also can see the badge decorating your coat. So Ashwika, could you add about the achievements of other ATL students too?
Certainly, ma'am. We in the ATL lab are working enthusiastically and tirelessly on numerous projects. As I already mentioned about utility patents, our institution also has quite a few design patents to our credit. Design patents cover the ornamental design of the project. Unlike utility patents, which focus on function, they focus on the parents of the project. And for the patent grants, I am currently working on a project that is up for patent grant, where we aim on developing a sustainable solution for energy conservation. It's titled A System for the Optimum Utilization of Energy Using Swappable Device.
Alright, since you mentioned patent grant, what is that and how does this term come into being in your information?
Well, patent grant is the formal issuance of a patent by the government authority. When the government grants a patent, it also grants the inventor exclusive rights on the project for a specified period of time.
Alright, Ashwika, so I think that now I can say as a proud Hansarian that you have definitely made the whole school feel proud, and you transitioned from, as I mentioned earlier, from a literary enthusiast to the technical progeny. You definitely deserve being one, right? But I think, and as I talk to you, we can conclude saying that we can neither take pages nor prototypes from our life, because technology is here to stay forever. right? But yes, one must not forget that ethics come first. Do you have to add something to it?
Well, ma'am, I feel like this conversation won't be complete without thanking our institution. I feel really grateful to our institution that provides such an environment and fosters the sense of technicalities, innovation in each and every student, and helps many students like me on such large, miraculous endeavors. I would owe a tremendous thank you to our Madam Principal, whose unwavering support have been the guiding light that illuminates our path towards success. And a really grateful and a heartfelt gratitude to our guiding teachers. Their insights and encouragement have been the pillar of support that have helped us to thrive and enhance our journeys throughout.
I'm sure your gratitude and your regards have reached your teachers and respected principal madam, because definitely they deserve it. Thank you so much for this informative session with us, Ashwika. We wish you all the best for all future endeavors in your life.
Thank you, ma'am.